the Collision Severity Detection System. Why is the system needed? The main objective of the system is to detect the severity of a collision or a crash between vehicles. You might be thinking, why is it necessary to detect severity in particular? So let's find the answer to this question with an example. Let's say two accidents happened at a place each separated by a distance of 5 kilometers. Among them, one is a very small collision and none of the passengers are hurt. But the severity of the other accident is very high and needs immediate attention. So, in this type of cases, to avoid wastage of resources like ambulances or medical attention and the time to increase quick attention towards the high severity accidents, this type of system would really be useful. Multiple accidents with different severity happen every day, and this solution is going to get clarity on which accident needs immediate attention based on the severity. Working principle of the system. The working principle of the system is very simple. We will be using an Arduino Uno, the collision detection sensor, FSR and the GPS module to capture the coordinates of the location. These values will be processed by a Python script and will be stored in a database. These database values will be updated on a web page which can be seen and accessed by the emergency services or even by the police or appropriate resources. Node MCU cannot store previous accident values and all the data gets erased when it is getting powered off. This is the reason why we have not chosen Node MCU for local web page. Instead, we will be creating a local server which is Apache server and local database which is MySQL database using Xampp application. The complete flow diagram is presented to you in front of you for you to understand the entire concept with ease. We get the sensor data, we update it in the database, we display the data real time in the web page. The hardware connections. We will be using GPS module for obtaining the location coordinates, collision sensor to detect a collision, FSR sensor to calculate the intensity of the collision, and an Arduino Uno for obtaining all the sensor data. Both FSR and collision sensor are combinedly used to avoid the false positives. And we want to make sure that our system is detecting things perfectly, and that's why we chose this combo. A table is presented in front of you for you to understand the connections, and we request you to follow the connection details which are presented in front of you as a diagrammatic representation as well for the system to fully function fine. Let's code it. We have included the tiny GPS library for parsing the NMEA data from the GPS module and getting the location coordinates. Software serial library for communication between the GPS and Arduino Uno is also used. FSR is connected at pin A5 and collision sensor out pin is connected at digital pin 4. The FSR data and call data stores the data which are acquired from the FSR and the collision sensor respectively. LAT-STR, LNG-STR stores the latitude and the longitude values after parsing the NMEA data. The final STR is the string which prints finally on the serial monitor. If the GPS is not connected to the satellite, then the default location which is stored in final STR will be printed. One can go through the code snippet which is presented in front of you for enhanced understanding. It's very easy to understand and we have already explained you the same. Let's continue the coding. GPS of tiny GPS plus class is initialized for dealing with the NMEA data obtained from the GPS sensor. 2 and 3 digital pins of Arduino are configured as RX and TX pins respectively using software serial. We have taught complete details about the software serial in the previous modules, and if you have any questions or doubts regarding that, you can go through the previous modules once again. Arduino serial is set at a baud rate of 9600 and the GPS module's baud rate is also fixed at 9600. As we are obtaining data from both FSR and collision sensor, we have pin mode set as input, and the same things are coded in front of you, and the code snippet can be referred for easier understanding. We obtain the call data by digitally reading the call, which is nothing but the digital pin 4, and FSR data by analog reading the FSR analog pin 5. And if there is a collision, that is call data is equal to 0, then print the FSR data, and if the GPS is connected, then print the location coordinates or print the default location values. Obtaining the location coordinates from the GPS sensor is taught in the logistics tracker session, and we request you to go through it once again for you to get a clarity or understanding if at all you are confused there. And the code is very simple, and we have explained you that. We request you to go through it once more to get better understanding. Installing Xampp software. We will be using Xampp software to create a virtual server, a database to store the values and display it on the web page. To install Xampp, visit apachefriends.org/download.html. The page link is given in front of you, and download the Xampp software depending on operating system that you are using. Once downloaded, the procedure for installation is simple, and you got to click next, and it's a formal installation step that you need to proceed with. The only thing that you need to be careful about is to choose the appropriate folder or the path where you want to install it. And once it is done, the installation is all simple, and it may take few seconds for the installation to be complete. Kindly note that some Windows user might get the below warning message which is going to flash on the screen. I mean, you may get this error message that you are seeing right in front of you. This is because of the conflict that is there between Xampp and Windows. Do not worry, this can be avoided. Please do not install Xampp in C:\program files or C:\program files x86. Instead, try to install it in the root folder like C:\Xampp. This solves the problem. For knowing more about this problem and the issue, please go ahead and have a look at the link which is presented in the Stack Overflow. You will get to know more about it, and we recommend you to read that. Once all the previously shown steps are followed, the software will be successfully installed in the system. Upon successful installation, the control panel of Xampp will be constructed, and you will see in front of it like what you are seeing right now. Let's summarize. Building a real-time collision severity system with GPS, FSR and collision sensor have been discussed. Installing Xampp software for creating a database using phpMyAdmin and upload the collision severity data into the database, thereby displaying it in the web page. This project will be very good hands-on session to try out the relevant skills learned and implement it in real-time scenarios. All the software used in this session are all completely open source and can be modified as per requirement. Let's go ahead with the demo for the proposed system. It's very easy to go ahead with the connections, and please carry ahead with the connections as we have trained you during the theoretical explanation. We have used the GPS, the collision sensor and the FSR, and we have connected all of them to the Arduino as you can see in front of you. It's a very simple connection, follow the guidelines, and it's easy to do. And please understand that in the code we have given default value, the default location for GPS, and when the GPS is not connected, this is the one which is going to be printed. Please go to tools, make sure the right board is selected, make sure the COM port is appropriately updated, and if it is all done, go ahead with the compilation and uploading. Once it is all done, we are all set to go with the demo. Done uploading has come, and open the serial monitor. Now nothing will come because a collision is not simulated. We are going to create a collision. Yes, we have created it, and you can see that we have got some values over there, and that's the default value which we have given in the code. Because we have not given a severity there. The severity has to be given, and only then the appropriate location and the severity will come. I am now punching on the FSR, and you could see that the location values are coming along with severity values. You can see that the severity values are updated based on the pressure that I am impacting on the FSR. This is such a simple exercise, and you can try it out with your available hardware. Let's go ahead and understand the installation of Xampp. Open your favorite browser, and from there we can proceed with the installation process. We have given the link for you to download the Apache server, the Xampp server, and go ahead with the same link from the theoretical explanation and the session that we have given. Choose the appropriate version based on your operating system. Whatever operating system you are having, The Xampp is provided for that. You can download it for Linux, you can download it for Windows. And since I have a Windows 64 machine, 64-bit machine, we are choosing it. Click on download. It might take few seconds to minutes for the download to be complete. Once the download is complete, we are all set to go with the installation. We'll have to wait until the installation process is done. It's a very easy to use and at the same time easy to install tool. The installation can be proceeded with right now because the download is complete. Click on the exe file. Once you click that, you will get the immediate windows available for you to navigate further. Now click next. You can go ahead with clicking next if it is all okay with the default location that it is prompting. If you want the default location to be changed or if you want to customize the components, go ahead and customize it. Make sure that you understand what you are doing and do it. And select the folder option is there to enable you to select a different destination folder if you are not happy or if you want to change the default path. Once you have selected that, you can click next, and from there it will take few minutes for you to complete the process. You can also unclick learn more about Xampp option there if you do not wish to do so. Now the setup is ready and we can go ahead with the process of installation. It may take about 5 minutes based on the speed of your machine and the configuration of your machine, and once the unpacking is done, the installation will go on and it will be completed. And that's all. It's done and we can finish the installation process right now. Click on finish and immediately you will get an acknowledgement in terms of a window popping up in front of you. We are going to take it up, and this is the control panel that we have referred during the theoretical explanation, and if you get this in front of you, the installation is all okay. That is it. You have installed the Xampp.